Hello, hi everyone. I'm Rick Kirkham of BusyBusinessPromotions.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about something that every single business owner needs to know and yet completely ignores, and I don't know why, and those are basic sales techniques. I see this especially. I belong to Reddit, and I belong to a what's called a SaaS group. That stands for Software as a Service. And these guys are genius engineer-like people. They can write programs for anything. But oh, I like these guys. But when it comes to selling, most of them can't sell their way out of a cardboard box. No offense to you guys. You're great at what you do. But I do want to talk about basic sales techniques. And this is off of an article that I've already written. So I'm going to use that article for a reference. So let's go to that right now. And I made this bigger, by the way. By the way, let's see if this will cause a rift in the space-time continuum. There I am in another video. Anyway, no. And by the way, I'm a dual certified teacher, so I'm always telling people some little computer tricks. So uh, this is a Linux Mint operating system. The same thing works on Windows. I'm using Control Plus to make my screen larger, and Control Minus to make my screen smaller. So that's just a little extra tip for you right there. But I do want to take you through this. Basic sales techniques to increase sales on your website or in person by sales psychology expert J. Richard Kirkham. That's me, in case you're wondering. Now, as opposed to just read this off, which I'm going to read a lot of this off, but I do end up ad-libbing, just so you know, and I'm probably going to make mistakes as I say things, so just consider that your form of entertainment as we go through this. Do you need to increase your sales? Do you need more traffic on your website? To be blunt, do you need to make more money for your business either online or offline? You always hear business owners talk about increasing their sales by getting more traffic to their website or local business. But what if, when you land on your web page or hear your sales pitch or receive your email ad copy, sucks? What if you could increase your sales simply by improving what you say to the prospective buyers already on your website or listening to your sales presentation? I can't tell you how often this gets missed. Everybody I hear thinks increase traffic to the website, increase traffic to the website, get more sales that way. You can increase traffic by learning how to sell better. And this is probably going to be the least popular YouTube video that I do. So do me a favor and like it if you're watching it. But I don't understand. People always talk about marketing. Okay, marketing gets people to the sales pitch. The salesperson or the sales web page makes that person a customer. Okay, so it's not just marketing, it's sales. They're different and they use different techniques, although they are related. So let's get back to this again. Told you I was going to ad-lib. Basic sales techniques and tactics are a must for any business, whether you have an online business, global or local business. Yet, sales techniques are often one of the most neglected means of increasing your business and making more money online and offline. Furthermore, by not understanding sales psychology, you're losing money because you think lowering the price is always the answer. The price is a lot less important than the perceived value of the product or service. So here's a little tip. if you're hiring a salesperson, ask that salesperson if price is important. And if that salesperson says perceived value is more important than the price, hire him or her. In fact, and I've said this before and people have disagreed, but I stand by what I say. In fact, you can sell your product or service for whatever you want to sell it for, as long as the price is lower than the perceived value of the product or service. Here's your list of basic sales techniques to increase your business sales and make more money online and all offline. First off, talk to the prospective buyer. Okay, no third person stuff. I can't emphasize this enough. When you're on a website, or if you're doing a video or anything like that, you talk to the prospective buyer. I'm talking to you right now. Okay? Anytime when you use third person, that doesn't involve the prospective buyer that's listening to the video or reading the web page. You have to talk to them. Use you. I want to say any. Oh, by the way, and I'm probably gonna end up getting to this. I don't remember, but I want you right now to take every instance of the word "I" on your web page and make it you. I want you to talk about what you can do for your prospective buyer. What do they get? Not what you can do. What does your prospective buyer get from your product or service? Not, here's what I can do for you. Okay, now you're out of the loop. Here's what you get when I help you. You see the difference? I told you I had to live a lot. Okay, so like I said, no third party stuff. You finally found the right web page to help increase your sales with the following basic sales techniques every business owner and salesperson should know. Use conversational English on your sales page or in your sales pitch. I have met the most intelligent people around who don't know how to use contractions when they start writing a web page. If you don't know what a contraction is, it's when you shorten two words. Is not that right? Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to say, isn't that right? That's a contraction. Okay, so use don't instead of do not is an example of a contraction. Write the way you speak. Okay, people who are write for a living call it conversational language. In this case, conversational English. I tried to learn my wife's native language, Ilocano, and I couldn't do it. So conversational English is all I can converse with. Okay. Create or show value in your sales presentation or web page of your product or service. I know how basic that sounds, but and once again, even in that SaaS Reddit, but other places as well, I see stuff like, here's my new AI product. Oh wow, how unusual, an AI product. But here's my new AI product. Sign up right here. I don't know what it does. I don't know what more importantly, I don't know what it'll do for me, so I'm not going to sign up. Build value. Okay, so you got to show value in your sales presentation or your web page of your product or service. Uniqueness of your product or service increases value. The only in-home tutor specializing in ADHD with ADHD covering Honolulu, Hawaii, and all of Oahu. I actually run 3 full-time businesses, and this is the business that has my heart. I absolutely love helping students with ADHD, and I can use my own experiences and help them even more. The only dual certified teacher turned in-home computer tutor and troubleshooter on Oahu and remotely for the mainland USA. Okay? So once again, that's another one of my businesses. That was my very first. Was that my first? No, that was my second business that I started. In-home computer and cell phone tutoring and troubleshooting. And I use the fact that I am a dual certified teacher to show my uniqueness as a computer tutor. So the idea is that I don't just know something, I know how to teach it in a rememberable and fun manner. The only website hosting that sets up your blog and automated marketing. Okay, that's actually busybusinesshosting.com. You can see where I did a little branding right there. This concept of showing uniqueness is your product or service, or in your product or service. There's my first mistake as far as I know. Even if it's an affiliate product, must be demonstrated in order for you to make sales. One of the biggest mistakes I see is people just dropping affiliate links on social media like everyone else. If you're not standing out, you're not being noticed, and therefore you're not making sales. To aid in the uniqueness and increase your sales, make sure you have your own website hosting and domain name. A domain name is your website address, by the way. It's not that complicated. Do not listen to the gurus who tell you that you can make $1,000 a day with no website. Usually after that is followed by, for more information, visit my website. See my article, I've got and video, why MLMers and network marketers need their own website, even though the company gives them one. I hear that argument all the time. Oh, the company gives us one. Yeah, but not one that you can actually market with and stand out with. You need a website so you can do a pre-sale. Okay, bonuses increase the value of your product or service and will increase sales. Usually this is followed by a limited call to action. For a limited time, you'll also receive this widget as a bonus with your order. This widget is valued at $1 million and will make your life easier as well as take your dog for a walk. So act now while supplies last. Note the phrase as act now while supplies last and for a limited time as limited calls to action. A limited number of products or openings or a limited time to act to purchase your product or service also increases the value. I'll discuss that more in detail later on this basic sales technique article. The bonus is used by affiliate marketers as well to help them stand out from others. This is yet another reason why affiliate marketers need their own website, to do a pre-sale and offer a bonus if the prospective buyer orders from that affiliate marketer. Direct sales representatives can do the same thing. Use the bonus technique on your own pre-sale website. Empathize with your prospective buyer to increase your sales. People buy from someone with whom they can relate or feel like they have or feel that they have something in common. For example, let's use this humorous made-up product example for men. Folks, I gotta tell you, I read this example to my pastor and he cracked up laughing. So I hope you take this in the way that it's implied to be funny and give you a break from me reading this all the time. Okay. I was once like you, ugly. People avoided me. I couldn't keep a job, and no woman would even look at me, or if one did, she'd scream and call the Area 51 authorities. I had no friends, and I stayed at home in the dark, covering all the mirrors. Then someone told me about the Handsome Man system, hoping I would go away. The Handsome Man system gives you everything you need to look attractive to people. I now have a successful job. I'm the life at parties, and I'm dating Miss Ultimate Universe, Miss Entire World, and Miss Infinity all at the same time, and they don't mind sharing me. There's hope for you now. No more screaming children, laughing women, and being fired from your job because you too are ugly. Get the Handsome Man system while supplies last at only $999 now. I can't say it. At only $999.99, it's a steal. The price will be going up soon due to demand from the Quasimodo family. So order now. Anyway, that got some laughs. In case you don't know, Quasimodo was the main character in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And here we go. Don't argue with your prospective buyers. This will decrease your sales. Use feel felt found instead. I used to feel the same way you do. I felt the Handsome Man system was too expensive too. Until I found out how much more money I actually make as a handsome man. This system pays for itself and then some. Versions of Feel Felt Found can be used to solve verbal objections or can even be used on websites in the FAQ section. FAQ, for those unaware, stands for Frequently Asked Questions. ABC, always be closing to increase your sales. Closing a sale basically means asking for the money, signing the contract, or clicking the order button. Don't always use hard closes throughout the Don't always use hard closes, though. Use soft closes throughout your presentation, whether it's verbal or on your website. This basically means subtle hints of ordering and buying, such as the assumed sale close. When you order your widget, I suggest you order it in green. A hard close using the assumed sales technique would be, what color do you like in that shirt? Person says blue. You say, I'll ring up a blue shirt for you. Your new buyer says, okay. I know some people think that's a little bit pushy, but it's definitely a technique and it works really well. The assumed sale, keep that in mind. Yes, I'm originally from Illinois, in case you saw my coffee cup. A teacher friend of mine gave that to me here in Hawaii. Okay. So, did the customer ever say he or she wanted to buy the shirt? Did the salesperson ever ask if the customer wanted the shirt? No. The assumed sales technique was used. Try this if you're single. Is Friday night a good time to meet at Joe's Tavern for a drink? Yes, it is. Sorry, that's the next person. I need to put a paragraph in there. Would 7 or 8 be better for you? That's called the choice close, by the way. So, is Friday a good time to meet at Joe's Tavern for a drink? Maybe the other person says, yes, it is. And you say, would 7 or 8 be better for you? Choice close. 8? Great. I'll see you then. I gotta fix that. Someone remind me. As you can see, learning good sales techniques helps in all aspects of your life. Speaking of the choice clothes to increase sales, you see the choice clothes all the time, especially online or if you're listening to a sales presentation. Which one of my website promotion packages would you like? I have the automated marketing package for only $49 per month, or my fully managed package for just $150 a month. And by the way, I also now have a marketing package called Treat It As My Own for $995 a month, where I do absolutely everything for you. Okay. Redirect clothes to increase your sales. My son, I love telling this story. My son's 25 years old now, but I got to read this one to you to make sure I get it right. It's so funny. My son, he gave me a great example of the redirect clothes. He saw something he wanted, and while we were shopping, he said, "Dad, can we buy this? I'll carry it." And just as I was about to say, "There's no need to carry it, son, just throw it in the cart," I thought to myself, "Hey, wait a minute." And that's when I started laughing, and I bought it for him. In real life, you can combine the redirect clothes with the choice clothes. Let's say you're selling something heavy like refrigerators. I see you looking at both of these refrigerators. Which one would fit best in your home? The one on the left. How are you going to get it home? We can arrange delivery. I have my truck. Let's get the paperwork out of the way. Nodding to increase your sales in person or on videos. So John, shall we get with your automated marketing today? And give a slight nod as you ask the question to close your sale. It's a psychological thing, and it works especially for prospective buyers that are on the fence about buying your product or service. Not a huge obvious nod, by the way. Just think subtle. I've got this. Okay, when I say subtle, do you understand what I mean? See that little nod right there? Now, if I say subtle, do you understand what I mean? You see how obvious that is? Just a little nod. Do you understand? All right, let's go on here. Asking a series of questions that are answered yes. Are you too busy to advertise and market your own product or service? Do you need to expand your business but just don't have time? Wouldn't it be great if you had a system that would advertise, market, and promote automatically, taking none of your valuable time away from you? Then order your automated SEO and social media advertising system by programmer, SEO, and sales enhancement specialist J. Richard Kirkham today. The handshake as a close to increase sales. This example is done actually before the deal has been made. Okay, so our van stopped working, and I just barely made it into the car dealership, which is now closed, unfortunately. And by the way, they used to sell carriages. I mean, that's how old the car dealership was. But anyway, I wasn't aware that salespeople could move at the speed of light, but they obviously can when they're motivated properly. And a clunking van being driven into the dealership is definitely motivation. I knew we needed a new vehicle because in my background in sales, because this should say because of my background in sales, I asked my wife to let me handle the negotiations. If you've ever purchased a car before and seen the little trick where the salesperson writes the price down on a piece of paper so he or she can have doesn't have to say it, that's what our car salesperson did. There's some psychology, some sales psychology behind writing the price down. Okay, tangibility. When you see the price written down, it can make it can make it feel more concrete to the customer. This can make him or her more likely to consider it and be willing to pay the price. Authority. When you write a price down, it can give the impression that you are serious about it and that this is a legitimate offer. This can make the customer more likely to trust you and believe that the price is fair. Anchoring. The first price that a customer sees can anchor his or her perception of value. Remember I told you about perceived value? If you write down a high price and then offer a discount, the customer may be more likely to see the discounted price as a good deal. In this case, when our car salesman wrote down a number, I chose I took the same piece of paper and I crossed out that figure and wrote my own price, actually lowered it, actually lowering it than what I would actually lower than what I was willing to pay. After writing that number down, I showed it to him and stuck my hand out to shake his hand, thus finalizing the deal, even though we hadn't agreed on the price yet. He didn't agree to that price, nor did he shake hands yet, but eventually we did come to a fair agreement, and the handshake technique before an actual agreement did help. By the way, I just thought of another sales technique that I didn't list on there. Having the person write it down, signing the after shaking hands, for example, say, sign here telling me that you agree to this page. It's just a piece of scratch paper, but you're getting that person used to signing things. So that's something I had actually forgotten about until now, which is why I like doing these videos. Okay, limit the time or amount to increase your sales. Mr. Kirkham is finally accepting 2 more in-home tutoring students here in Honolulu, Hawaii, covering all of Oahu. Look at the word finally as well. That implies a long delay for an opening, which means you'd better act now. Have you seen the expiration dates on coupons? Having a discount coupon expire creates a sense of urgency in your prospective buyer. I'm sure you've also seen advertisements where a certain number of products are available. A used car salesman told a friend of mine, yes, we still have one left in that color. Meaning my friend had better buy now before someone else gets that make, model, and color of the car my friend wanted. More on the art of the soft sell to increase your sales. So the soft sell is an art that's slowly disappearing as people pay less and less attention to sales techniques in this instant business owner world that we have. You put up a website, that's it, I own a business. Hey, yeah, you own a business. Have you had any business training? Have you had any sales training? If you're in business, you're in sales. Don't just get over it. Embrace it. Learn. Anyway, let me get back to this. Yeah, I took my headphones off. I realized I really didn't need them. Okay, so I think I already talked about this. Instant business owners, soft sell disappearing. Yeah, there we go. Throughout your presentation, website, or YouTube video, use the soft sell. For example, I just mentioned those of us who understand the soft sell have an advantage over those untrained business owners who do not know how to use the soft sell. That is itself a soft sell, leading to the offer of one of my Zoom lessons on custom sales training, including the soft sell. Using the soft sell throughout your presentation builds the need for the product or service greater than the need for you to sell your product or service. That's exactly what you want. To sell is not just a matter of showing the product or service with a price. It's building value and uniqueness, softly closing the sale through the presentation. Even a business card can do this. A business card is one of the least properly used advertising media that exists. A business card should have, you offer to take it away first. Oh, sorry. Sorry, you offer to take it away first. A business card should have. I'm gonna get to that. Believe me, I remember this. I offer a really good deal for remote computer clients here on Oahu. I only charge $9.95 per month for 1 hour of service per month. This helps with troubleshooting and regular computer maintenance and optimization. There are a few people left that treat their computers like refrigerators instead of cars by stating, there are only a few people who, okay, that's a reverse bandwagon sales techniques. People want to do what other people do, and they want to know what other people know. By stating that there are just a few who still treat their computers like refrigerators instead of cars, in other words, getting the computers serviced regularly as they would their car, I'm suggesting everyone knows that this should be done. Okay, back to the take it away first sales technique. I actually had a remote computer client who thought this also included house calls. When this happened, I immediately said, "I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. Shall I cancel your remote service?" She immediately said no. Why did she keep the remote computer service after I offered to cancel? People don't want things taken away from them. Since I made it my idea to cancel, it was my remote computer client who was going to have her service taken away. Okay, you guys should remember, in fact, I just noticed before I flipped over here, children and adults react in the same manner to the same stimulus. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's why I love using car salesmen and used car salesmen as examples. That's why they all have shiny pens. So we want that. We want to reach for that shiny object. Anyway, it says right here, children and adults react to the same way to the same stimuli. Adults are simply more suppressed with their reactions. Remember when your parents tried to take away a toy you were playing with because it was bedtime? If you're a parent, you can tell me how your child reacted. They scream and fight for it, just like my computer client did, in a more subtle manner. That's why car salespeople have shiny pens that they hand to you to make a sale. The child in us wants to reach for that shiny object. Okay, bandwagon effect to increase sales. Everyone is going crazy over J. Richard Kirkham's ability to help small business owners increase their sales, whether it's a web page or a flyer. As both a sales psychology and SEO expert, Mr. Kirkham helps you to be found both online and offline, as well as increase your sales through the traffic that you have now. Okay, just what it says. The implication is everyone else is doing this, so you should too. People don't want to be left out. By the way, notice here, I didn't mention this. Notice here how I use Mr. Kirkham to establish myself and give myself some respect there. Okay, fake it till you make it. Years ago, an author asked how to promote in a social media group that didn't allow direct advertising. I told her, fake it till you make it. I then instructed her to post an announcement thanking everyone for the supportive emails about how much they loved her new book. And then the name goes here. I can't remember what it was. Now the bandwagon effect will occur, and people not wanting to be left out will not only ask about the book, they'll order it. Now we have an increase in both exposure for future sales and an increase in immediate sales. She loved the idea and it worked for her. Again, the secret here is the soft sell. Don't go into hardcore sales mode. The minute someone asks you about your book, when someone asks you about the book, reply something like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You must not be on my preferred customer list. I can post a link or DM you, whichever you prefer." Obviously, a preferred customer list is an email list or mailing list, which means that person is now feeling left out and wants to be on your mailing list. If you did your job of networking with other people in the group, people will reply they would like the link too, so just post it. The 4 aspects of a sales presentation or web page. Okay, and by the way, I'm not seeing my thing on the business card. So this is what all business cards must have as well too. They must demonstrate a problem, show a solution, show why your buyer should buy from you, and have a call to action. So let's look at a business card. Just the text, obviously, though. You should have a graphic on it to draw attention, like the shiny object thing, right? So here we are, busybusinesspromotions.com. Affordable website promotion to increase sales. Text or call. Website promotion, SEO, and sales psychology expert J. Richard Kirkham, BSc, Bachelor of Science, that stands for, 808.224.1870. No one does what I do. Okay, problem. The busy business owner trying to promote his or her website. Solution. Affordable website promotion to increase sales. Why prospective buyers should buy from me. Website promotion, SEO, and sales psychology expert J. Richard Kirkham, BSc. No one does what I do. Note, the BSc stands for Bachelor of Science and denotes a college degree. No one does what I do creates curiosity. When one of my website analyst clients saw that she wondered what it meant, explaining to me that a lot of people did SEO, until I not only helped her with her SEO but with her sales as well with this video. Free website sales analysis, including the importance of the word even. She told me she was pausing the video, taking notes, and emailing her web manager for the changes that I recommended. Okay. Now, let me talk about the word even. I do a lot of substitute teaching as a dual certified teacher from Illinois, and obviously I run my own businesses as well too, and the word even will save your butt. So let's say if you're talking to someone, a fellow businessman, or if as a teacher you're talking to a parent, and you said, if you take this class it'll make you a better parent. Okay, now watch them straighten up. Well, I think I'm a pretty good parent. Okay? They're going to do that. Now, if you add the word even to it, if you take this class, it will make you an even better parent. Okay, now you're implying they're a good parent, but this class will make them an even better parent. All right, let's go on. The call to action is text or call, website promotion, SEO, and sales psychology expert J. Richard Kirkham, BSc, and the phone number. You'll also note in the call to action I included why prospective buyers should buy from me, giving directions instead of information to increase your sales, text, or calls. Note on the business card example, I had text or call, not just a phone number. By giving directions instead of providing information, you increase the number of people who contact you about your product or service. Okay, bonus tips. I get a lot more text than I do phone calls from my 3 businesses. By including text or call, you'll also be using the choice close. Now, instead of a prospective buyer wondering whether he or she should call you, a prospective buyer is wondering whether or not he or she should text or call you. Okay, want to learn more about increasing your sales? This is just a small example of how I can help you increase your sales. There are 2 ways I can help you. I'll look at your web page, and do a presentation or video for you to, and I'll make recommendations as to what to do. For that, I charge $95 an hour. If you're going to have me do that, I'd really recommend just going to 1 hour, because it's a lot of information in there. I don't want you to have information overload. Okay, and if you're trying to improve your actual sales techniques, then I can do in-home Zoom meetings, or not in-home, I can do Zoom meetings with you anywhere in the world, or even go in person if you're right here on Oahu, and help you with your sales. And that's it. We made it through this. So if you watch this entire video, pat yourself on the back. I'm virtually doing it right now. Great job. And if you have questions, email me or put them in comments. There's my email address, rick@busybusinesspromotions.com. And that's it. So God bless you, and best of luck for you and your business.